Hey Aries, welcome to your weekly forecast for August 5th through the 11th. This is going to be a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to connect here and see what's coming up for you guys in the week ahead. I've got a brand new mermaid deck this week, guys. I've never used it before on this channel. I actually just found out about it a couple of days ago, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm going to check it out. Here's your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And as always, those of you who are into the different decks like I am, I always include the deck info in the description of the video. All right, Aries, so you have reflection coming up on your Monday, Tuesday. Now, I think maybe what's going on is a lot of you coming into this week ahead. You're coming off the new moon energy that we had for the Leo new moon, which was on the, I want to say the 31st. Yeah, the 31st. Of the prior week. And so you're coming into this energy of really thinking about what you want. Some of you had a lot of frustrations and aggravations that came up around that new moon because it affected people in different ways. Some people felt really inspired and really like romantic and really impulsive and just wanting like to go out there and live. And some people got really agitated. Some people got really aggravated. And I, for whatever reason, feel, Aries, that for a lot of you who are watching today, it was a bit of a roller coaster where you had those like, really high inspired, excited moments, and then you also had like these aggravations or frustrations. And I feel, Aries, it's because a lot of you felt like there were things getting in your way. Like, man, I would be here already if it wasn't for this, or if it wasn't for that, or if this person wasn't doing this, or that person wasn't doing that, or if I didn't have this obligation or responsibility. And so I feel, Aquarius, that a lot of you, like, your eyes are being opened to the things in your life right now that you're not happy about. And some of you are finally realizing that, hey, if I notice things in my life that I'm not happy about, that doesn't mean I'm being a negative person. That doesn't mean that I'm not being grateful. And you're beginning to realize and see that you're beginning to see what you don't like about your life because, your guides are trying to help you make changes right now. And a lot of you are looking at like why or how you ended up here and like what you want to do differently or what you want to change. Some of you have this aggravation that you're dealing with a specific person. And this does not feel to me like it's a romantic relationship. For some of you, it could be. But for the majority of you, I feel it could be a family member or even a coworker in some cases where the person's been really getting under your skin. Like really getting under your skin. But you're having this epiphany in the beginning of the week and you're saying, hey, I can sometimes be this way too. Or I'm starting to think of a past time when I was this way. And so there's some kind of like mirror concept happening for some of you that's helping you like clear out or make a change. Make like this like shift into a higher vibration. Okay? So all of this is happening to help you let go and to reevaluate your life. Okay, to help you achieve what you want, your potential, your goal. And so some of you are just taking some time to sit and think and plan. And so this is going to be a really contemplative time for a lot of you, where it's the calm before the storm. Not to throw cliches at you, but things are about to get really busy, and this is your moment to just kind of really think about, okay, what do I want? How do I want to get there? What is my goal here? So some of you are getting very clear, and once you are clear, you're gonna find all of a sudden things are moving very fast. Your Wednesday, Thursday card, Aries, is creativity. Okay? So I feel that this creativity is going to be an outlet for a lot of you Aries who are releasing the frustrations that you're feeling right now. And I feel a lot of you are going into this mode where it's feeling a little overwhelming to be around other people, you know? Some of you especially may have been like super social, maybe even extroverts. And those of you who were really, really like, you know, liked being out there, you know, kind of liked to interact with people, you might find that, hey, you know what, like I just kind of at the end of the day, I want to get home and start working on a puzzle or do some writing, or I want to get into like making jewelry, or like some of you just have like this really all of a sudden this interest, and you're like, I want to spend time doing this, like on my free time or on my off time. Some of you are going to be having a lot of messages. Sorry, to pause there real quick to sneeze. Some of you are having these messages that are coming to you while you're working on these creative projects. And I do feel like the picture on this card is very quite literal, and that some of you are feeling very inspired and you're feeling a call or a desire to be near the water. So some of you may be taking trips to the waters, you know, those of you who live like within, you know, traveling distance to like beaches or lakes or things like that. Some of you may even be doing things like going and picking up like shells and stones and rocks and making things out of them. For some reason, I'm seeing some of you get really into crystal grids. Like that's going to be your creativity, where you're just like getting these crystals and you're moving them around, but you're receiving messages. You're receiving messages as you're working on this creative outlet or this hobby, right? Other ones of you, it could be singing, it could be dancing, it could be you know, sculpting, it could be drawing or painting, you know, just whatever, all these different creative things. And this is really specific. I don't know why, but I feel somebody out there is getting really into like the art of tattoos. Like maybe you already have experience as a tattoo artist, or maybe it's something you've already been working on or learning, but I just feel like there's like this revival in like the old school, like the original tattoos, like what they were meant for, the original designs, things like that. Not like the tribal stuff that unfortunately became like this really big fad. And I shouldn't say unfortunately, because I'm being judgmental when I say that. But like the only reason why I said unfortunately is because maybe by becoming such a big fad, some of it maybe lost its meaning, like with like the tribal stuff. But I feel for some reason like it's this artwork that you're bringing about in some way, like a spiritual belief or a spiritual awareness, because tattoos were like for remembering the dead originally, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going off on a tangent now. I don't want to talk about that too long. But just something where, like, it's like a spiritual process. I don't know why that came up, but my rule is that if it comes up, I have to say it, right? And it was something about tattoos for some of you. Maybe some of you, like, you're getting tatted. Maybe you're like, this is like your creative outlet where you're making an expression in some way. With your own like tattoos on your body. But for whatever reason, I felt like somebody out there was doing something where like they were bringing back like the old school meanings of the tattoos. I don't know what that is, but it came up and it might mean something for somebody out there. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is nurturing, okay? So some of you may be spending time with children. Some of you may be pregnant, expecting a baby right now, or you're trying to make one right now, you know? But overall, you know, this nurturing energy, it doesn't always have to be with like, you know, physical children. Although some of you, as you're in this creative energy and you're thinking about what matters in life, maybe you are feeling a little bit nurturing, and some of you are like, man, it's time to go get a little puppy, or it's time to get a cat, or it's time to have a kid, or whatever it might be. Some of you are like wanting to express love or share love or care for something in some way, and this is because your heart chakra is opening up. For other ones of you, you're being nurturing towards yourself, or you're figuring out or learning how to like nurture yourself, or like mother or father your inner child, right? Like really be nurturing towards the inner child. I do feel though that it's coming with a lot, and I'm very happy to see this, Aries, especially for you guys. Because Aries, you guys could, God, can you guys be hard on yourselves? Aries can be so hard on themselves sometimes. But I'm seeing where there's like this, a lot of positive self-talk coming in. So if you've been working on that, like if you've been catching yourself thinking very negative and you're like, oh, I'm going to change this around, I'm going to speak more positively to myself from now on. I feel like some of you at the end of the week, you're having these really happy, positive moments where you're catching yourself speaking very loving to yourself. Like if you drop something or whatever, you're like, oh, it's okay, hon, you'll go get another one, or like whatever, instead of, oh, you're so stupid, look what you did, can't you pay attention, right? Like I'm just giving like a little quick example here, but it does feel to me like a lot of you are just being very nurturing towards yourselves, and for whatever reason I'm also getting a feeling or a sense of like positive self-talk where you're catching yourself speaking in a very loving way towards you, towards yourself, and that makes me happy. I'm happy to hear that, Aries. Keep that up, all right? So that's coming in end of the week. Let's see what your angel homework is or spirit messages from an old school mermaid deck here. I don't know if I want to say it's the original, but it may be one of the original. The Doreen Virtue Mermaids and Dolphins deck. So we'll see what your homework is for the week ahead, or what your spiritual theme may be for the week ahead. I don't like when it goes blurry. All right. Here you have Aries. Bum, bum, bum. Hello. Consult an expert. So this is, more information is needed. Contact someone with expertise in this area. So a lot of you are preparing like to launch some kind of creative project. So it could be where like you're learning or you're taking classes or something like that. But in the beginning, sorry, I'm fidgeting here. In the beginning of your reading, we got a sense and a feeling here about how like a lot of you were really reflecting, or you were thinking about what you want to change in your life and steps that you're wanting to take. Some of you are doing something, or you're preparing to do something, like looking for a life coach, or looking for a therapist or a counselor, or looking at like a financial advisor. Some of you are on the verge of planning something very big, and a part of this for you guys, it's actually going to be a spiritual process or like a healing process when you're going and you're getting some kind of consultation. And I'll tell you why. Because Aries, you guys push yourselves so hard, so very hard, and sometimes you are so afraid to fail that it might be tempting not to try. And also it can be very tempting to want to do everything yourself, especially for Aries. Aries are very independent, right? Like they're not the kind of people that sit around and feel sorry for themselves, or they're not the kind of people that like to fall into like this victim mentality. They're very independent. So the fact that you're consulting an expert, it does need to happen because you're coming into a really big shift, a big change, and you do need that guidance. But the spiritual aspect of it is, this is an exercise for you, Aries. This is a time where you get to practice allowing somebody else to come in and help. And there's a sense of vulnerability that comes in with that. And there's a sense of telling the universe, I'm going to allow for somebody to come in and to help me. And for a lot of you, this is the nurturing aspect that was coming in the end of the week. You're allowing somebody else to come in and nurture you by giving you some assistance, giving you some guidance, giving you some support in some way. And don't underestimate the effect of this. This is huge. This is massive. This is opening you up to receive. This is a way in which many of you are going to be overcoming blocks in love and money and all of that stuff, because you're opening up to receive and to allow someone to come in and to help. All right, so it's very, very, very big shift energy. Again, some of you are like, well, yeah, and you touched on love. Tell me more about love. For those of you who don't know, guys, I do all the love readings separate on this channel, because sometimes people get so caught up in love, they forget about themselves and they forget about their journey. And so this reading is just for Aries, for you, to help you on your journey. If you want the love readings, you can click on the description, the link in the description. It'll take you to the love readings. I really suggest that you guys watch your moon sign and rising sign videos as well, though, because it's gonna bring more information for you. I'm more than happy to give you a private reading. You guys know I love giving you guys one-on-one readings. If you click on the Calendly link in the description, it will take you to schedule a reading with me. And I've gone ahead and I've redone it. Like I've changed the listing because a lot of people were having a hard time finding the prices, but it should be more clear now. My OGs, like those of you who've been with me like since like the beginning, you guys, you know, I think you were just kind of used to it, but I think a lot of new people have been coming in, so there's been a lot of people lately that it's been confusing. So it should be more clear now. If you guys click on that, hopefully I've made it more clear. Hopefully it won't be confusing anymore to anyone. But you know, I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I thank you for receiving your messages. Have a fabulous week.